Hi, it's Cathy Cena here with Tri-Cities Community TV at the beautiful Lee Square, the gathering place. With me today is the CEO of the Share Society, Sylvia Ceacero. Thank you so much for being with us. You've been in the position for just 9 months, just under a year now. You had a little bit of a transition from the east to the west. Tell us about your transition and how it's been living here, as well as what did you used to do in the east?
The transition has been fabulous, actually. Living in BC is a dream come true. My husband and I both had our eyes in Vancouver and the area for a number of years, and we finally said we're going to make the jump, and this is it, because we figure we will retire here at one point. So the transition has been quite easy. The weather is fabulous, so
Yes.
you know it is wonderful. When I was in Ottawa, I was the CEO of the National Association of Federal Retirees. Prior to that, I was the CEO of Beechwood Cemetery and Foundation, and I can tell you stories about cemeteries.
I bet.
And before that, I had my own business. I was the chief of operations of my husband's business. I've done it all, actually.
But with the CEO times 3, I think was a great fit when you came over. Just out of curiosity though, was it the job that brought you here, Sylvia? Or did you move here already and then hope to find a job?
Actually, it's quite interesting. My husband and I decided to buy a condo in Vancouver in 2014.
Okay.
And we thought it was going to be a summer home or a vacation home.
Okay.
And because we thought we're going to retire here, so we're going to come to the area to vacation all the time.
Yes.
And I decided to leave my last organization, and when I decided to resurface a month after, I looked at the Share job and I said to my husband, that's my next job. And he says, how do you know? And I said, I just know this is where I need to be. This is what I need to be doing with my life. So it was the perfect fit, I think.
I'm always amazed with the things that Share does. We all know, or many of us know, about the food bank. You're known, you just recently did a food drive at the Save On Foods on Pine Tree.
That's right.
And you have some great outreach. But what are some of the things that you want people to know more about of what Share is doing? Because I think some things, oh yeah, they have a food bank. Oh yeah, they've got the store, the thrift store. But further to that, what else are you doing?
Well, it's very interesting because whenever we speak about Share with people recognize Share, even in Vancouver or further.
Yes.
What's very interesting is that they recognize us for the food bank or the thrift shop. However, the biggest portion of what we do is helping children. We have early intervention programs. We have therapies for those children, whether it is speech therapy, physical therapy, so that they can be set up for success as they progress through life. And of course, we want to make sure that those children are well set up, and we include the parents in many of our programs to make sure that the parents know how to deal with a child who may have a disability or who needs extra help. And it's interesting that even though it is one of the biggest pieces of the work that we do every day, and thousands of families are helped every year, that people don't associate that with Share. The other thing that people don't associate with Share, we actually manage 43 housing, which is 288 units of affordable housing. We manage that for BC Housing. It is an enormous task. As you can imagine, we have 1 residence in Coquitlam and 4 in Port Coquitlam. So these are individuals also who are being set up for success, that are being helped by Share and what we do. And of course, we also have seniors programs, and another very important piece of what we do is counseling for those who may have an addiction, whether it is a gambling addiction, a drug addiction, or an alcohol addiction. And we have a huge team that helps individuals in the Tri-Cities.
And do people have to be assessed before they come into the various programs? Or can you just say, hi, I'd like to stop gambling, and just walk in and all of a sudden get the services that they need? How does that work?
It depends. If there are individuals who have lost everything or who are very tight for their money, then there is an assessment, the ministry gets involved, and the funding agencies get involved so that they can get into programs, and they don't pay for the programs. But if anybody who is able to afford it walks into our doors, we have a program called Talking Helps,
Yes.
and it is for any type of therapy that you may require.
Oh.
And people walk in and they say, I would like to be helped for whatever the issue is,
Right.
and we are able to extend that help.
Oh, that's very nice, as long as they can pay for it. So you're helping people that that may not be able to afford the services, as well as people that can. So that's something I didn't know, so that's good to know. Let's just speak about the affordable housing. That's very, very interesting. Is there a person within your office that manages that sort of portfolio? And what are your thoughts on affordable housing? Do you think we could be doing things, you know, better, bigger, and so forth? I'd like to get some feedback from you on that.
Sorry, we do have a Director of Programs and Services, Roxanne McDonald, who manages all of our 43 society housing and who help our tenants, and of course her team as well. Affordable housing is very interesting. It's going through a major transition, as you probably know. The stock in the entire area, whether it's Vancouver or the Tri-Cities and beyond, is not enough for the individuals who require housing. And the more the housing prices increase in the market, the more difficult it is for people to have access and so on. And it is a very interesting conundrum. BC Housing is setting itself up to try to up the stock. However, with the prices of land and so on, and they have to carefully manage the public purse. It is very interesting what's going on right now. We are a member of the BC Nonprofit Housing Association, which is basically the body that oversees all of the nonprofit housing societies. And there is a great deal of advocacy that's being done by that body in order to make affordable housing part of the strategy for the government, whatever government is in place or is coming up, to ensure that people can have decent homes, because having a home, as you know, is one of the most critical things for other pieces of your life to be successful.
Yes, of course. I mean, having a job is important, but if you don't have a roof over your head and shelter, having the food is important. Some of these people, I'm sure, come out of, you know, very, very distraught situations. What have you seen? I want you to share with us a success story. You know, there's so many different things that happen, and I'm sure you've seen everything from, you know, poverty-stricken families to, you know, being able to turn that around. Without mentioning names, of course, is there like a family story that you can share with us from what you've seen, like X person came in and this is what happened to them, and, you know, can you share that with us a little bit, Sylvia?
I will share with you the story I think that touched me the most. I go to the food bank on a regular basis just to be with the staff and see the clients that come through our doors. And I think it was the first time that I was at the food bank, and there was a young man, and he had a baby strapped to his chest, you know, those snuggly things.
Yeah.
And he had a very young toddler on a stroller. And I got talking with him and I said, so what's going on in your life? I said, what brings you here? And he said to me, both my wife and I work full time. And she works during the day so that I can take care of the babies at night, the other way around, you know, so that we can relate taking care of the babies. And he said, the most difficult piece for us is housing. It takes about 60 to 70% of our income. And I thought, we need to do something for this family. So we've been working with individuals such as those to say, how can we transition them to affordable housing so that they're not paying market rates?
Yes.
And then, because they're the working poor, they come to our food bank, they come to our affordable housing sites, yet both of them are working full time. So for me, those are the stories that I like to be able to bring in, and then to transit back out of our services, because that means we've been successful with them.
And just to finally wrap up with you, Sylvia, here today, you have a wonderful gala that you put on every year, and if people want to know more and can make donations to the society, where can they find you?
They can find us at www.sharesociety.ca, and you will see it displayed on our website on the very beginning of our webpage. The event is called Imagine, because we think it is important to imagine how the world could be different. Imagine the difference people can make. Imagine how we can eradicate poverty. Imagine how we can make our Tri-Cities much better.
Wow, I just need a moment there. got some goosebumps, but we are hearing from CEO of the Share Society, Sylvia Ceacero, today, talking about helping families in the Tri-Cities and beyond, as well as, you know, you can use their services whether you are in need or not. And that's something that is incredibly useful to all of us here. My name is Cathy Cena. I'm with Tri-Cities Community TV, and we're at Lee Square in Port Coquitlam.